What's going on, everybody? Hank Harrison with Double H Precision Fishing, back for another installation video. In this video, we are here in North Houston doing a huge install, the next big thing kind of install. And right now, I'm gonna flip the camera around, let y'all meet the man who owns this boat and who is getting this big thing installed on his boat. I'm super excited about it. I know he is. Y'all stick around. This one's going to be awesome. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna let the man in front of the camera introduce himself and kind of talk about a little bit about what we're doing today, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty side of it in the unboxing. But who are we talking to today?
My name is Jason Reyes, and I fish the NPFL tour, and today I have Hank over here who's going to install the big screen NBT Marine 22-inch Battleship on my boat. Also a Garmin 8612 on the front of the boat as well, and a live foot and anything else we might need to make this thing flagship. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a experience of something I've never done as far as a unit this size on my boat. So I have my reasons as to why I think it needs to be done. I feel like the sport is trending this way, and forward-facing sonar has become such a huge part of how I go and locate fish on the tour. So this is going to help me in so many ways out on the water to find fish, to catch fish, and I'm just stoked about it. I think it's going to be really cool. I can't wait for you guys to check it out when it's all done.
Well, and that's one of the biggest things that working with NBT, being the East Texas dealer, that I've heard and that I also preach on my electronics classes is, yes, there is absolutely a time to go and use that big screen, your forward-facing sonar, to catch fish. I'm talking about true live scoping. But 9 times out of 10 for the majority of the year, we're using our forward-facing sonar to gain information, right? To make better decisions, to make a bait change. And I think with this 22-inch Battleship, with this 8612, you're gonna be able to use all forms of sonar to a much higher level and advantage.
I totally agree with that. And you know, when you're looking for fish and you were talking about structure, you get to see the fish's reaction to different baits and how they're setting up and how fast they're moving, and you know, what water column, part of the water column are they in, and where are they going, and which way are they looking direction wise. So a bigger screen with more information coming back to you, to me, is only more beneficial to the angler.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we know the man. We have a 2024 Phoenix 21XE, right? The brand new boat from Phoenix. And I'm really excited because this is going to be not my first time working on a Phoenix, but being able to actually dive into the brand new 21XE. We have a handful of different mounting options when it comes to the NBT, as well as his prior 126 XSV setup that he has. He has 2 on the front, 2 on the back. He's running 2 LiveScope transducers and a lot of other stuff that's going to help tie in to make this entire setup very well-rounded. So without further ado, let's get into the unboxing, the mapping portion of this video, as well as right into the installation. Alrighty guys, so y'all are on the chesty now. What we're working with right here is a really good start, right? We already have a really good mount, Bass Boat Technologies here at the console, or at the front and at the console. And what we are looking at is the brand new 21 XE from Phoenix. And me and Jason did a lot of talking before we even purchased anything, before he ordered anything, before we even declared a date. And I told him that I was very confident that we were going to be able to fit that 21 and possibly either that 12 or his 126 up here. If not, we're going to be able to absolutely make it work and get it all together. But I'm pretty confident with the space that we have that we're going to be able to make this work. So what we're going to work on first is getting these mounts off the gimbals, and the Bass Boat Technologies actual riser double stack mount off, so that we can start from the ground up. We just got done talking about it. We're going to start from the ground up because we have a really solid base plate here, and then from there we are going to build up, as well as kind of start to de-rig some of the stuff that's in this boat that we're not going to need, as well as allowing for fail safes, because while he's on tour, he has, you know, made it expressed not concern, but being on the tour, fishing at a very high level, you want to be able to have fail safes if needed, and that is a standard across all high levels of competition. Right. So that's what we're gonna do. Y'all stick around. I'm gonna get to work and I'm gonna keep y'all updated. All right, so quick update on what we have going on here. So first off, I want to show y'all the NBT 22 as kind of a first hands-on look in person. This thing is absolutely huge. Now, this unit serves a very specific purpose, and that is efficiency, right? This unit retails for $39.99, right? So right at $4,000, you can get 22 inches of screen space. You can run quad screens and still have huge, and I mean, that's almost a quad screen, and that's huge, huge space to be able to manage your sonar, use your sonar to the fullest capability, all in an HD, highly, highly durable screen. Now, I'm gonna hold this right up here, and what we're basically working with here, and the way that we've kind of figured this out, and we talked about this because we have the full BBT mount off, we have both of his 126s off, and the way that we're gonna work this right now is we're gonna put the NBT 22 on the bottom and the 8612 that this networks off of up on the front. Now, a lot of you are gonna be saying, if you are versed in Garmin marine electronics, Hank, you're not gonna be able to share waypoints from the console up front. Well, there's a kind of a way around that in certain terms, because at any point in time, you can download the waypoints, those units, and obviously Garmin to Garmin sharing waypoints, 100% universal. You can share those waypoints from an SD card, download them real quick, throw them up on the 8612, and it's on your NBT because they are an exact screen share. So, in theory, when it comes to size, the quality of the screen, because the 8612 is a much, much, much higher quality screen than your 126, we're looking at where can we put the most high quality screens in the right places, and we think that that's what we're gonna do. Now, if Mr. Reyes wants to end up reworking it and organizing everything, we absolutely are gonna do that on a future date. But for right now, we're actually about to take the NBT screen and we're gonna put the screen cover on it because we're gonna be careful. Boom, boom, boom. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna play some Tetris and see what we can do when it comes to fitment. Now, we have the original base plate from Bass Boat Technologies. We have the NBT gimbal bracket. We have a Bass Boat Technologies riser. We have a Deckit mount that Mr. Reyes already had on hand. We have our NBT or a 8612 gimbal, and then we also have some other associated parts that we can use to kind of do relatively a custom mount, because with this boat being so new, we're doing a little bit of custom working, and that's why you want to take it to a actual boat rigger when it comes to
mounting a lot of this stuff because it takes time, it takes a trained eye, and we're gonna do it right the first time. So we're gonna get to playing Tetris here, and we're gonna come back with an update once we have a finalized idea of how we're gonna mount everything. Well, as y'all can see, just by the look outside, it is dark. And that means I didn't do a lot of updates. But the good thing is that means I was focused on what I was working on. And guys, all I have to say is, wow. It was a much longer process than I thought it was gonna take. There were, the biggest thing that I think we really ran into that took the most time was just double, triple, quadruple checking fitment, making sure that everything was going to work 110%. And there was a lot to do. I mean, Jason's going to say the same thing. I mean, we accomplished a lot in today. And I think when y'all take a look at this, y'all are going to like it. So as it sits right now, we pretty much kept the original mount, the original BPT mount, or BPT, Bass Boat Technologies, BTT, the Bass Boat Technologies mount. All we did was we rose it, right? So we pulled it from its original screw holes. You can kind of see it right there. Shifted it up and a little bit to the right to allow for a much, much bigger screen. That is a 126 compared to a NBT 22. Now we also added a couple of stabilizers there to the base just to give it a little bit of stability. And realistically, all we really found was that it needed it just on this side because this is an offset mount. But we went ahead and for the simplicity and the look of everything, we went ahead and added two. And Jason, I think it's solid.
For sure it's solid. I mean, we've checked it, we've pulled on it, we've tried to take it off and twist it and turn it, and it's as solid as it can be. Not only that, but we added a live foot that I think is really cool in addition to this, and that took a little bit of time, but it's going to be so cool to be able to have all the available options of forward-facing sonar, mapping. Everything is available up front right here. You know, you can stare at it all day. It's just, to me, it's a great setup, and you did a great job. I mean, I couldn't be more pleased.
As y'all can see, we used, he had two LVS 34 transducers. We went with the Fish Obsessed Dominator mounts for the LVS 34. Super, super solid. Biggest thing, as y'all can see, 0 degree and pretty much offset. So we're able to get this transducer really, really low out of the way of the DD26 Live Foot, which right now we have it set in forward view, but you can put it into perspective very, very easy with it being all 3D printed and very, very strong. So he'll be able to have pretty much kind of the setup that we talked about is probably running the Live Foot in perspective mode, having the transducer on the shaft running in forward, and at any point in time he can change this stuff around, right? So if he wanted to move one or the other into perspective forward, whatever he wanted to do to adapt to the situation, whether it be big waves, brush pile fishing, fishing in suspended water, whatever he wants, he can make it happen. Obviously we have the two cables run right around, very nice. Now once again guys, these zip ties that you are seeing, these are used as retainment. They are not used to tighten down super, super tight. You do not ever want to use zip ties in a very tight fashion. As you can see, when I can get away with electrical tape, I'm gonna use it. The reason we have zip ties right here is because we have these awesome, basically rubber protectors. I mean, cool. That's basically what it is. It's a zip tie protector for your LiveScope transducers, which is really, really cool. But as y'all can see, as we come down the trolling motor, all of our wires are just held by zip ties. They are not tightened by zip ties all the way down. Everything is super clean on this setup. But we haven't even talked about the 8612 at the console. Look at that, guys. 8612 here on the left. super, super clean here on this Phoenix 21XE, brand new boat from Phoenix. We haven't even talked about that.
Right.
But this is going to handle all of his side imaging, all of his down imaging, 2D sonar. This is going to be the hub for his mapping. Obviously, we're not able to share direct waypoints, but we have a fix around that just simply by saving and downloading his waypoints to an SD card, throwing them in and downloading them at the beginning of the day, middle of the day, end of the day, at any point in time, he can do that. As well as he's going to have waypoint transfers from the 8612 to the NBT and then from the 126 to 126. So it's really a perfect world at this point.
I agree. It's gonna be awesome, and I thank you for taking the time that it really takes to do everything correctly, and you know, real meticulous. Hank's been real meticulous about everything has to be perfect, and it is, and I'm happy, and I can't say any more than that. I mean, he does a phenomenal job.
Guys, y'all heard it. It's late. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I know Jason is as well, but I'm about to get out of his hair because I'm pretty sure he's probably getting real tired of me. I was knocking at his door right at 8:30 this morning. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning into this video. If y'all like content like this, please make sure to let me know by liking and commenting, as well as subscribing, hitting that notification bell so y'all don't ever miss another video. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Once again, we will see y'all on the next one.